Covert Café, how's it going tonight, everybody? Wow. So great to see everyone. Welcome to Covert Café. Let's start things off properly. Give it up for Colin and Joe behind the bar. Everybody give it for Colin and Joe behind the bar. Give it up for Joe on sound. That's right, we're doing double Joes. And let's also give it up for Cody. Give it up for Cody, everybody. Cody is in the vicinity as well. All right. Yes, welcome. This is the Wheel of Comedy. This is the first time we've ever done this show. In this show, it's a stand-up showcase, but the wheel is going to determine what we talk about, what jokes we do, and what we cover. There's a lot of different things on this wheel. Like there's food, family, relationships. There's a lot of different topics that all, usually get covered in stand-up. Some of these topics aren't really like one of these is we do our best joke, and then one of these is we do our worst joke. It's the wheel. The wheel is going to determine. So like the wheel's going to land on something. We do material on it, and then once that is fulfilled, wheel gets spun again. The wheel is going to decide. And a fun part about this is that there is an audience choice part of the wheel. So when it lands, So when it lands on that, you tell us what we're going to joke about. So that's the wheel. The wheel is important to the show. The wheel actually isn't the entire show. The wheel is getting paid. So with that in mind, I think this is the most nervous I've been for a show. This is crazy. Because I don't know what's going to happen. But with that in mind, I'm Chris Hudson. I'm hosting. I'm going to be hosting all night. I forgot to introduce myself. Thank you. And with that in mind, now that you know what's going to happen during this show, by the way, we have some of the best comedians in the Pacific Northwest on this show. It's going to be very fun. Now that you know what's going to happen, I'm going to open the show. I'm going to spin the wheel. So let's do it. Let's spin the wheel. Let's see what happens. Let's see what it lands on. Let's see what I got for it. Sports. Wow. I didn't do that on purpose. Sports. Yeah, I am a sports fan. I maybe am addicted to sports gambling. Anybody else maybe addicted to sports gambling? Don't want to admit it yet? Yeah? Yeah, I don't know. You know, like I have a DraftKings account, and I did lock myself out of it, and then, you know, you have to call them to get it back, and I have done that. I don't know. There's something in like gambling. They say it's an addiction. They do. You know, there's something in my DNA that makes me take a quarter to a scratch off. I don't know what it is. It's just like I thought I wasn't addicted, right? I was like, I'm not addicted. I can stop anytime I want. And then the last time the Super Bowl rolled around, I did put money down on what color Gatorade they were going to pour on the winning coach. I did put money down on that. I remember I was watching videos to do research. That's the problem. You think you can outsmart the gamble, like the odds. You're like, I can do research. So I was watching videos on what color Gatorade. Like, there were people like, bro, yellow is a lock. They've been using yellow during the playoffs. They're going to use yellow in the Super Bowl. Don't worry, it's a lock. And then the Super Bowl came around, and the Gatorade was purple, and I lost half my rent. So that is... Yeah. They do have a phone line you can call if you feel like you're addicted to gambling. They do have a phone line. And but they don't call it like the gambling addiction, like, you know, recovery line or whatever. They call it the gambling helpline. That's what they call it. Which is, in my opinion, a different message. The gambling helpline. That makes it sound like you're in the middle of a poker game and you call it up. And you're like, hey, I got a jack high straight. Is that going to be good for this? You think I should go all in on this? That makes it sound like you're on hold on the phone. And you're just like on hold, and the hold voice is like, we'll get with you soon. But press 5 if you want to put $20 down on 15 minutes. Press 2 if you want to put 30 down on 20. You guys get the idea. You know, the Seahawks are looking pretty good. You're on the phone with them. Gambling helpline. Yeah. You know, one thing that's not a sport, but you can gamble on is horse racing. Anybody a fan of horse racing in here? Yeah? That's the first yeah I've ever gotten. That's crazy. Horse racing, yeah. I don't know if it's technically a sport, really. I think it's mostly just for gambling, because you never hear anybody go like, oh, I'm a fan of the Mariners, the Blazers, and that one horse named Serenity. Like, you never hear that.
We like jockeys.
You like jockeys? Okay. Who's your favorite jockey?
There's this really like kick-ass woman.
Yeah.
Who rides at the Pacific Northwest, where there used to be a really great scene here.
There used to be a great horse racing scene in the Pacific Northwest?
It was Mary.
What happened to it? They broke it up?
A lot of whiskey.
She drank a lot of whiskey, and now she doesn't ride horses anymore? I would think that they're hopped up on whiskey on those horses. What was her name?
Mary.
Is she still alive?
I don't know.
Oh, boy. She disappeared. Oh, my gosh. That's crazy. What was her horse named?
Well, she got paid to ride different horses.
Oh, she was a celebrity jockey.
Oh, yeah, people were begging her to ride their horse.
They were begging her to ride the horse. Mary.
Mac.
The Mary Mack? What was her last name?
Which we didn't know.
We didn't know. Really?
She was a redhead and trained a lot.
She was a redhead jockey named Mary, who people would beg to ride their horses.
She was
Got addicted to whiskey, and now she's gone. Thank you. That was a great story. I appreciate that a lot, actually. No one's ever interacted with me with the horse racing. People just turn a blind eye. Because it is the Pacific Northwest, and there doesn't really seem to be a circuit here for horse racing. Because I don't know if it's obvious, I am originally from Baltimore. That's where part of the Triple Crown is, the Pimlico Triple Crown. And I never really got into horse racing until I watched it one day. And you can name horses whatever you want. And one day I was watching Pimlico, part of the Triple Crown. One of the horses was named Bofa D's. That was the name of the horse. And the person who was commentating the race, it was not lost on them the name of the horse. Because he was like, here's Bofa D's right on top of Tranquility. Bofa D's is sliding across the finish line. Bofa D's is trotting right in front of Yo Mama. That was the name of the other horse, was Yo Mama. That was the name of the horse. Because you can name horses whatever you want. They cost like $100,000 and you can just name them Yo Mama. You can do that. That's how you know you have boat money. But yeah, I want a t-shirt that just says Bofa D's, but then horse racing in like tinier font under it. Yeah, sports. I'm gonna spin the wheel again. Let's see the next topic. Yeah, that was sports. Thank you. Oh, cool, Portland. I got Portland. I did put Oregon in parentheses in case anybody wants to be a smartass about it. Because there is a Portland, Maine. But, you know, who goes there? This is somebody from Portland, Maine here. Yeah, Portland. Man, what a city. We love Portland. Portland's great. Did you guys notice recently, this is what I've noticed recently about Portland. What is up with all this sidewalk mud? Do you guys notice this out here in Portland? There's so much sidewalk mud. I've never seen so much sidewalk mud in my entire life. It's just a crazy amount of mud on the sidewalk. I don't really have a joke for this. I just wanted to complain about sidewalk mud. It's driving me insane. And I don't know if it's mud or if it's actually the sidewalks disintegrating. I don't know what it is. No, I do like Portland, though. I do like Portland. I did move here 6 years ago. I moved here in 2020, like right before the pandemic broke out. I did move here to Portland. Portland's fun. Portland's great, especially when you're a transplant. You know, anybody here from Portland? Anybody here born and raised Portland? All right, cool. One person. That seems very normal for Portland. There's a lot of, everybody's from somewhere else. Everyone's from somewhere else. And if you were born and raised here and you've lived here your whole life, if you tell someone, like if you're a transplant and you tell someone that you're a transplant, you know, like I'll tell somebody who been born and lived in Portland forever, I'll be like, oh yeah, you know, I'm from Baltimore, I moved here. And they'll be like, oh, well, when'd you move here? I was like, well, you know, 5 or 6 years ago. And they'll go, well, you know, I got something to tell you. You know, they look around to make sure no one's listening in, and they'll go, Portland used to be cool. They'll always say that. They'll be like, Portland used to be good, and now it's bad. And I'll be like, well, when would you say it started going downhill? And they'll look me up and down, and they'll be like, when did you move here? All right, cool. There we go. There's that passive aggressiveness. I love it. I love to pull out the passive aggressiveness because I'm used to regular aggression. That's what I'm used to, regular aggression. Like I used to live in downtown Portland. People downtown are screaming a lot, not at anybody, usually at the sky. And my neighbors downtown, they used to be like, oh my God, they're in distress. And I'm like, no, that's actually pretty healthy. You got to let it out, brother. Like you can't keep it inside and just smirk. Can't keep it inside. Portland. Portland. I learned about polyamory here. Yeah, polyamory. I got involved in some of those. I got involved in one of those situations. Polyamorous people. Any polyamorous people here? Anybody bring all their partners? Okay. You know what I've noticed about polyamory? There is not a lot of polyamorous love songs. Not really. The closest that I've found is Lou Bega's Mambo No. 5. That's the closest I've found. A little bit of Monica in my life, a little bit of Erica by my side. I'm like, okay, he's polyamorous, and he's honest with all of his partners. That's good. I also, when I was involved in a polyamorous situation, I didn't realize how many game nights I was going to have to go to. So many game nights. Oh my God. If you go over someone's house and they have a bookshelf of board games, just know that they are polyamorous and they have many partners. Like, I think it's less about having more partners and more about that you need 8 people for this board game. I think that's polyamory. All right, I've harped on Portland enough. Let's see what the wheels got to say about the next thing I do. Oh, great. Audience choice. Star Trek. Okay. Thank you. Perfect. Yeah, this is a Star Trek kind of place. Star Trek. I like Star Trek. I'm a Star Trek fan. I also like Star Wars. I like both of them, you know? Although Star Wars is kind of more made for children, Star Trek seems more science-y, you know? Like Star Wars, you got like, you know, like magic samurais with like laser swords. In Star Trek, it's more about like, you know, scanning things and like dilithium crystals, tea, being serious and exploring space. Like Star Trek, I'm a huge Next Generation fan, and I like all the series. You know, I even watched Enterprise, even though I wish I had that time back. Yeah, Star Trek is great. I used to try to, I got banned. Well, I've been doing comedy for a long time, but I didn't get banned from a comedy club, but they just never let me back in because I did a joke that I'm gonna try to remember about Star Trek dirty talk. This is because I tried to do that one time. So it's, we're gonna penetrate your aft shields with slow photon bursts, provided I have enough charge in my dilithium crystals. We're gonna drink some tea, Earl Grey, hot afterwards. So if you like that, then you could be like, beam me up into that situation. That's the joke was way longer than that, but Star Wars though. I had a friend the other day, he referred to Darth Vader as a deadbeat dad. Which I don't, well, somebody said true, but I don't think it's true. Because if you watch Star Wars, if you watch that original series, Darth Vader is just looking for his kids. That's what those movies are. He's just standing on a space bridge, just like, I can feel their presence. Like, he's just, those are the movies, you know? Like, I don't want to spoil it, but in one of the prequel movies, Emperor Palpatine tells Darth Vader that his kids died in childbirth, and Darth Vader goes, "No! I wanted kids." Like, which I think is the most unrelatable part of Star Wars for a lot of fans, was that part, because they're like, kids? No, I'm just gonna get more Funko Pops. That's what I'm gonna do. Star Wars. It's about kids. I got mad that Skywalker Rises was a bad movie, and then I remembered that the movies are mostly for kids. It's mostly for kids, you know, and people argue with me, but hey, Mandalorian, Baby Yoda, they call him the child. It's all about kids. It's all about kids. Those movies are made for kids, and the toys are made by kids. So that's Star Wars. Okay, that was a bummer, but let's see what else the wheel has. I'm going to do one last wheel before we bring up your next comic. Oh, boy. Your best joke. Well, that's good, because I did say I was going to leave stage after this. So you usually want to end your comedy set with your best with your best joke. So that's what I will do. And one of the comics already told me before the show, they were like, what if you do it and they don't like it? And I was like, well, that's devastating. So with that in mind, I'll do my best joke and I'll bring up your next comic. Yeah. Don't clap yet. All right. Okay, best joke. Let me think. Yeah, I got this. This one's good. All right. So I was talking to my dad the other day 3 years ago, and he's a doctor, but he was not always a doctor. Like growing up, he wasn't a doctor. Wait, hold on. Yeah, he wasn't a doctor when I was growing up because my parents got divorced, and he did the classic dad thing of losing custody, right? And I don't blame dads or parents who don't pay their child support, because it's like, would you pay for a Netflix subscription that you almost never get to watch? So yeah, he's a doctor, and he was telling me, this is what he was telling me the other day. He was like, they're trying to cancel me at work. That's what he said. They're trying to cancel me at work. I was like, isn't that called getting fired? I feel like once you're fired, that means you're canceled. Like, you're done. You're out of there. And I was like, well, why would you say that? Why would you say they're trying to do that? This is what he said. He said he was walking down the hallway of the hospital, and somebody ran up behind him, and they were like, "Sir, excuse me, sir, excuse me, sir." And he turned around, and this is what he did. He turned around, and he went, "You don't know my pronouns?" Which is an insane thing to yell at someone who's panicked in a hospital. They might have a loved one who's sick, who's dying. Why would you yell that at them? And then I was like, why did you yell that? And he said, because they're supposed to address me as doctor. And that's when I realized my dad does not know what a pronoun is. He thinks it's just job titles. That's why he gets mad when somebody identifies as she, they. He's just like, get a job. It's like, whoa, okay, Dr. Pronouns. He just thinks everyone's pronouns. He's like, well, your pronouns should be engineer or mechanic. It's like he thinks he's progressive, but in the back of his mind, he's like, I wish they would just pick up a wrench and live their truth. Well, that's what I thought was my best joke. Thank you. This is going to be such a fun show. Are y'all ready for your next comedian coming up here doing